Have you ever wondered how black families turned the tough Wyoming plains into places of pride and growth? In a state mostly filled with wide skies and white faces, black people have quietly built lives full of work, faith, and community. Today, we count down 10 cities where they are thriving, running businesses, raising families, and sharing culture, while white neighbors watch from nearby, learning and joining in. Wyoming has about 590,000 people total, and black residents are 1.65% of that, around 9,736 strong souls making real change. If stories like this open your eyes, hit like, subscribe for more, watch to the end for number 1, and comment what surprises you most below. Let's start the journey. Number 10, Casper. Casper sits in central Wyoming, known as the Oil City, for its energy jobs. The city has around 58,754 residents. The black community here numbers 353 people, which is 0.6% of the total population. This group has roots going back to the late 1800s, when African Americans came west for railroad building and oil work. They faced hard times, like discrimination in jobs, but they stayed and grew. In 1917, they started the Zion Baptist Church, a key spot for meetings, music, and support that still runs today. Records show black families owned homes and shops by the 1920s, helping shape the town's growth. A historic survey from 2022 highlights how black residents built homes, schools, and businesses despite challenges, turning Casper into a place of quiet progress. Why are black people thriving here? And why are white folks watching from afar? It's because of strong family ties and smart work in oil fields and education. Many black residents now hold steady jobs at refineries and teach at Casper College, where they lead classes on diverse histories. They own small businesses like barbershops, food trucks with barbecue twists, and even tech repair shops. The city holds Black History Month talks at the library, where black speakers share stories of local heroes fighting for fair rights. These draw white families who come to listen, ask questions, and learn about shared pasts, like how black workers helped build the oil boom. Events like gospel choir performances at community centers pull in neighbors, showing joy and strength. White folks watch because these actions stand out in a mostly white town. They see black families volunteering at food banks, raising kids with pride, and keeping traditions alive. This inspires respect, as white residents join cleanups or book clubs on black authors, slowly building bridges. In Casper, thriving means turning hard history into hope, and that light draws eyes from across the street. Number 9, Sheridan. Sheridan is a northern Wyoming town near the Bighorn Mountains, with about 19,035 people living there. The black population is 130, making up 0.68% of the city. African Americans first arrived in the 1880s as soldiers at nearby forts, guarding trails and building trust with native groups. By the early 1900s, more came for ranching and lumber jobs. They formed the Mount Olive African Methodist Episcopal Church in 1913, a center for prayer, education classes, and social help that served families for generations. Local histories note a thriving black community by 1915, with social clubs and homes that fostered pride. Why thriving, and why the watching? Black folks here succeed through deep roots in ranching and healthcare, blending old skills with new chances. They work at Sheridan Memorial Hospital, caring for all, and run family stores selling crafts, clothes, and even custom saddles. The town celebrates Juneteenth with picnics, speeches on freedom, and music where black leaders share tales. White residents bring dishes to join, turning events into shared meals. Schools teach about Wyoming's black pioneers, like soldiers who protected the area, helping kids of every color grasp equality. This small group leads youth programs on leadership and history, while white neighbors volunteer at trail cleanups led by black organizers. Thriving comes from faith and family, hosting church suppers and starting online craft sales in slow seasons. White folks watch from afar because these efforts shine quietly. In a rural spot, black resilience in business and community stands out, encouraging white families to attend powwows or history talks nearby. It shows kindness and grit enrich everyone, turning watchers into friends over time as they see how black Sheridan keeps the town's spirit strong. Number 8. Riverton. Riverton lies in central Wyoming, close to the Wind River Indian Reservation, with a population of about 10,803. Here, 87 black people live, which is 0.81% of the residents. Black history in Riverton starts in the 1920s, when families moved for farming and factory work after the railroads expanded. They built tight-knit groups, starting Bible studies that grew into home churches. Challenges like job limits pushed them to learn skills, leading to roles in teaching and mechanics. Ties to nearby native communities added layers of shared support. Why are they thriving, with white folks observing? It's the mix of cultures and steady community work that builds success. Many black residents teach at Central Wyoming College, mentoring students from all walks, and own cafes blending soul food with reservation recipes, like fry bread tacos that draw big crowds. Riverton hosts unity festivals with black drummers alongside native dancers, teaching civil rights stories through lively shows. White families attend to learn, not just watch. These gatherings make history feel alive, not stuck in books. Black volunteers run shelters for newcomers and after-school clubs on skills like coding, opening doors wide. White neighbors join book clubs reading black authors like Toni Morrison, sparked by these visible efforts. Thriving means adapting smartly, growing home gardens for healthy meals, and using apps to link with far-off relatives. In this blended town, the black group's small size makes their impact big, like a spark in dry grass. White folks watch because it challenges old views. They see how black families add warmth and wisdom, inspiring potlucks and talks that pull everyone closer, proving small voices can change a whole place. Number 7. Jackson. Jackson is a lively spot in western Wyoming, famous for its national parks and tourism, home to around 10,746 people. The black population stands at 92, or 0.86%. African Americans arrived in the early 1900s for guiding tours and hotel jobs, bringing skills from southern states. They faced weather hardships but created joy through music nights at lodges. By the 1940s, a small church group met for worship, laying roots for today's bonds. Black cowboys herded cattle here, adding to the Wild West lore. Why thriving here and the Afar gaze? Black people shine in tourism and arts, using the busy economy to build wealth and share stories. They guide hikes in Grand Teton National Park, telling tales of resilience that wow visitors, and own art galleries with paintings of black cowboys under snowy peaks. Diversity workshops at the community center feature black speakers on Wyoming's hidden ranches, drawing white tourists and locals who listen with wide eyes. Schools weave in lessons on Buffalo Soldiers, the black troops who patrolled these lands long ago. Black leaders run ski clubs for kids, teaching life balance amid the slopes. White folks watch trail cleanups, where black groups organize with focus, or attend holiday sing-alongs mixing gospel and folk tunes. Thriving involves smart seasons, saving tips from summer jobs for winter calm, and hosting potlucks with collard greens beside elk stew. In flashy Jackson, this steady heart beats loudest. White neighbors observe because the contrast pops. In a tourist haven, black culture's quiet depth invites curiosity, leading some to buy art or join history walks, learning how these families enrich the valley's famous views. Number 6. Lander. Lander is a peaceful central Wyoming city by the Popo-Agie River, with roughly 7,565 residents. The black community has 69 people, about 0.91%. Roots trace to the 1870s, when black Buffalo Soldiers camped nearby, protecting settlers and exploring the land. Later, families came for sheep herding and store clerk roles, starting reading circles to teach kids despite scarce books. These early efforts built a love for learning that lasts. Why the thriving, with watchers nearby? Black residents blend nature love with knowledge sharing, creating spots of growth in this calm town. Many work at the Fremont County Library, setting up black history displays that teach all about soldiers' bravery, and farm organic veggies for local markets, selling fresh picks door to door. The annual Pioneer Days Fair puts black storytellers on stage, sharing escaped slaves' valley hides. White crowds sit close, soaking in lessons on freedom. Church groups run soup kitchens with generational recipes, feeding neighbors in tough times. Youth clubs teach coding and outdoor skills, linking kids to jobs beyond the hills. White folks join hikes guided by black leaders, hearing trail tales that mix history and hope. Thriving means living in tune with the land, fishing for family dinners, and pushing for clean rivers through town meetings. Like roots under quiet soil, this community adds unseen strength to Lander. White observers watch because these acts glow softly. In a small, steady place, black families' push for education and care stands out, drawing white residents to library events or garden shares, where they start seeing their own lives richer through these shared roots. Number 5. Torrington. Torrington is in eastern Wyoming, a farming hub with about 6,174 people. Here, 72 black residents make up 1.17%. The area holds special history. Nearby Empire was Wyoming's only all-black town, started in 1908 by homesteaders from Oklahoma and Nebraska. Families farmed wheat, raised livestock, built a school and post office, thriving until drought hit in 1930. Survivors moved to Torrington, carrying that self-made spirit. Why thriving now, and why the distant watch? Black people honor this past while growing strong in farming and trade, turning old lessons into new wins. They tend sunflowers and corn, sharing tips in co-ops with white farmers, and run repair shops fixing tractors with handed-down know-how. The town museum displays Empire tools and photos, with black elders leading tours for schools. White kids listen to stories of daily life, asking how families built everything from scratch. Community gardens bloom with heirloom veggies, shared at block parties featuring fried chicken, pie, and tall tales. These draw white neighbors who collaborate on crops, learning sustainable ways from black growers. Thriving keeps memory alive, writing family histories and teaching line dances at rec centers for all ages. White folks watch because Empire's echo lingers. In flat farmlands, this group's deep pride and hard work stand tall like prairie grass. Exhibits and parties pull them in, showing how one lost town's dream still feeds soil and souls, inspiring white residents to join history hunts or farm days, where barriers fade over shared harvests. Number 4. Laramie. Laramie is home to the University of Wyoming, a college town of about 31,848 in southern Wyoming. The black population is 388, or 1.22%. African Americans came in the 1860s as soldiers at Fort Laramie, fighting in wars and earning hard respect. By 1900, more arrived for teaching and rail jobs, forming debate clubs that honed sharp minds for change. Why thriving? With white eyes on them, black residents lead in education and arts, using the university's energy to voice stories and build futures. Many study or teach there, running diversity classes on Wyoming's black poets and activists. They own bookstores packed with James Baldwin books and host open mics for spoken word nights that pack rooms. The city marks black history with marches and panels, where white students hold equality signs and hear about integration fights. Church choirs blend gospel with cowboy songs at town halls, lifting spirits high. White professors partner on projects about local black veterans, co-writing papers that spread wide. Thriving means raising voices, securing grants for youth camps on leadership, and speaking against unfair rules. In Laramie's brainy buzz, the black community sparkles like night stars over plains. White folks watch from lecture halls or sidewalks because these efforts cut through. Small but bold, they challenge quiet norms, drawing professors and students to discussions that shift views gently, turning observers into allies who celebrate the depth black lives add to campus trails. Number 3. Rock Springs. Rock Springs is a mining town in southwestern Wyoming with 23,229 people. The black community numbers 475, 2.04%. History here is tough but proud. In 1885, the Rock Springs Massacre hit Chinese workers hard, but black miners held firm, taking union jobs and saving for land buys. They built the Union Pacific Church in 1923, a light for tired travelers and families. Why the thriving and the Afar view? Black folks endure and excel in energy work and services, forging bonds in this rugged spot. They haul coal by truck and own diners slinging mac and cheese with a miner's twist, feeding shifts of all colors. The Sweetwater County Historical Museum runs black miner exhibits full of oral tales, packed with white visitors eager for real voices on labor wins. Juneteenth barbecues sizzle with ribs and rights talks, pulling crowds to honor shared struggles. Schools dive into massacre lessons, led by black teachers who make pain into power stories. White co-workers share long shifts, building trust over break room chats. Thriving builds endurance, like training for races that echo old mine grinds, or starting safety groups for better jobs. Rock Springs' black group hammers ahead like tough steel from the earth. White folks watch because history's scars make successes shine. In a town born from boom and bust, these families' steady rise inspires, leading neighbors to museum walks or barbecue joins, where they step from sidelines to share the warm fire of progress. Number 2. Rawlins. Rawlins is a central Wyoming rail town, population about 8,217, with 186 black people, that's 2.26%. Black history ties to 1870s cowboys and Carbon County coal mines, where African Americans dug deep, organized strikes for fair pay, and roped respect. They started the Good Shepherd Baptist Church in 1905, hosting suppers that fed whole blocks. Why thriving? With white watchers. Black residents connect through trade and tight ties, riding the rails of opportunity. Many weld at prisons or farms, crafting strong fixes, and run laundromats with cozy corners for yarn swapping. The Carbon County Museum shows black rodeo shots, with locals guiding mixed tours on cowboy legends. Town rodeos spotlight black riders, met by white crowds' hat waves and cheers. Faith circles offer job training open to all, landing work in tough times. White ranchers snap up black-made saddles, trading stories over fences. Thriving weaves connections. Family road trips to reunions and coaching kids' leagues with life lessons. Like steady trains through plains, Rawlins' black community pulls forward with plain power. White folks watch from bleachers or shops because this grit echoes the West's wild heart. Small but fierce, their rides and repairs draw admiration, urging neighbors to rodeo seats or church meals, where plain living's strength turns distant nods into handshakes and shared trails. Number 1, Cheyenne, Wyoming's capital and biggest city, has 64,976 people. Topping our list, 1,830 black residents make 2.82%. Since 1867, when the railroad boomed, African Americans barbered, cooked, and guarded trains, laying tracks for the state. They founded the Bethel AME Church in 1886, Wyoming's first black congregation, still buzzing with youth choirs and wisdom. Why thriving most here, and why all eyes watch? Black people lead boldly in government and business, anchoring the capital with vision and voice. They work at the State House, shaping laws for fairness, and own firms like accounting spots and catering services for big events. The Cheyenne Depot Museum highlights black porters' journeys, drawing white tour groups hungry for hidden facts. Frontier Days Rodeo crowns black bull riders, with mixed stands roaring loud. Schools host AME History Days, unpacking integration battles with skits and songs. White owners team on markets for beaded jewelry and hot sauces, boosting sales together. Thriving pushes forward, lobbying fair housing and mentoring young startups with tips from trailblazers like Tilford Ashford, Wyoming's first big black businessman. Plus, the 1904 Searchlight Club, started by black women, still inspires service groups today. Cheyenne's black community holds the dome steady like its gold capital. White folks watch with wonder because this heart beats central. From afar at first, events like Black History marches pull them near, revealing lasting light that guides the whole equality state toward brighter shared tomorrows. Thanks for joining this look at Wyoming's thriving black communities. They remind us history builds better tomorrows. If you learned something new, like and subscribe for more real stories. Comment your favorite city below or a question about black history. Share with a friend, and see you next time. Stay curious.